Hi, my name is Riley Rourke. I'm joined today by Rajani LaRocca, the author of Such Great Heights, out August 11th. Now, tell us a little bit about this book.
Yeah, so Such Great Heights is about a high school sophomore named Sia who
Mhm.
wants to be on the school mock trial team. And she's kind of interested in the co-head of the team, named Raj, and he's kind of like the it boy. He is like a soccer star, really smart, and like a good guy. But when the case comes along, she finds that the case is suspiciously similar to the circumstances of her mother's death several years earlier, so she's not sure how that works out. But so it's got the romance, it's got the, first love, it's got the mock trial in high school, but it's also a reimagining of an Indian epic called the Ramayana.
So, I had a question about that. What was the writing process like with a retelling? Because you have to reference back.
Yes. So not everyone is familiar with the story. So there's a vehicle in my story to explain what the story is about. And the reason why I decided to tell this incredible epic or retell this incredible epic is because my grandmother was named Sita, who is the wife of Rama in the Hindu epic, the Ramayana. And I was always kind of haunted by that story because even though it's supposed to be kind of a triumphant story, it's very sad for Sita in the epic. So I tried to make sense of it as a kid and as an adult, and this story is my way of making sense of Sita's story.
And it will help like young women, young men understand the story as well. Like putting this in a YA lens, such a transformative time really allows a lot of people to understand it. And so why delve into YA now? You've written a lot of middle grade and children's author, but this is a YA book. This is like a step up in terms of age
Yes.
range.
Yeah, well, I knew this story had some more mature topics, kind of about family secrets and kind of the nature of truth and whether the truth matters if you know what happened, but no one believes you.
Mhm.
So I knew that this needed to be for a slightly older audience. And high school is already full of so much emotion and drama that I thought that that lent itself well to this story.
I totally agree. And something that really drew me to this book was mock trial. I mean, I was a member of mock trial in high school. Why did you decide like I have to include mock trial in this? A mock
So
trial.
I was also part of mock trial in high school, even though I didn't end up being a lawyer. And I loved mock trial. It was an amazing experience. Basically, you get a case and you have to be able to argue both sides of it. So every week, usually you switch sides. And so what's interesting about mock trial in a story that kind of is about the truth is that in mock trial, there is no truth, right? It just depends on which side you're on. But then I was thinking more about it and I was like, oh, that's kind of like life sometimes too, right? Because people see things from different perspectives and they argue one way or the other depending on what side they're on. So as a young person, that's something you have to grow up and contend with. And so that's why I think mock trial fit this story perfectly.
Yeah, and I love it. And you mentioned you're not a lawyer, you're a doctor and an author. So how do you juggle that?
Well, I became a doctor first. That was my, big dream of my childhood, and I love being a doctor. I love the science. I love my patients. I love everything about it. But I've always been a big reader and a writer. And, 15 years ago, I came back to writing, and initially it was just for me. So when you love something, you always make time for it, and that's what happened. I would just kind of sneak time in between taking my kids to wherever they needed to go and working. I would find time for myself, but somehow it has turned into this second career and it's also something that I love. So I feel really fortunate that I get to do two things that I love.
Yeah, and they're both such fun careers. And I think I read on your website that reading also helped you become like a physician and made you interested in it.
Yes. So I don't know if you can see on my bookshelf, oop, right back there. There is a book called Ouch, All About Cuts and Other Hurts. It is out of print now, but I read it when I was like 6 or 7, and it's about what happens under your skin when you get a little scratch or a scrape.
Yeah.
And I was so fascinated by it, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason I wanted to become a doctor.
That's that's so great. And it just shows how much of an impact books can have on you as a kid.
Absolutely.
So you also are a Harvard graduate and you live in Massachusetts. So I'm wondering if either of those things help inform your writing work at all.
Oh. That's so interesting. Yeah, I mean, I place a lot of my books in Massachusetts.
Mhm.
Such Great Heights is not set in Massachusetts, it's
Mhm.
in New Jersey. But I do. My first couple of books, Midsummer's Mayhem and Much Ado About Baseball, are both set in a town that is fictionalized but is very similar to Concord, Massachusetts, which is where I live. And yeah, I mean, I've lived here in Massachusetts since I started college, so I've lived here longer than I lived anywhere else, and I love it.
I
I love
love
putting
Mass,
together books.
especially as a writer. It's such a beautiful writing state, like
It
Louisa
is.
Alcott and all that.
Yeah.
So I have a question. What is your like current read? What book are you obsessing over right now?
Okay, well, this is not a new book, but I don't know why it took me so long to get to it, but I'm reading Taylor Jenkins Reid's Carrie Soto is Back. Oh,
So
what a book! What a book! I mean, that character is so singular. She's so brash and like so like just intense.
yeah.
So different from kind of the way I see myself in the world, but I also she's got this kind of tender underside that I didn't like you don't
Mhm.
appreciate. Like a lot of characters in the book don't appreciate. I'm obsessed with it right now. I love it so much.
She is so. Have you read Malibu Rising?
No, that's
They
next.
connect.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So I also love Carrie Soto is back. But do you think that there's anything you want to add today that I didn't cover? Anything you want to touch on?
Uh, The only thing I would say is that, talking about a book in which somebody is trying to tell the truth and isn't
Yeah.
believed, I think is just a very topical subject right now. And so, in a world where we get so much information, especially young people get so much information from so many sources, I hope that this book helps young people kind of reflect on themselves, think about where they are in the world and who they are, and learn about who they are and make sure that they tell the world that.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's all, that's great. And so where can people pick up Such Great Heights when it releases on August 11th?
Um, Anywhere books are sold, but my local bookstore is the Silver Unicorn Bookstore in Acton, Massachusetts. And if you pre-order it from there or order it from there, I will sign it.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I had so much fun.